I'll always remember my experience in Cambodia. You can find in its forest hundreds of temples in the lost city of Angkor. Cambodia is also famous for its bats. Some are as gigantic as a fox, and others gather by the thousands and rush out of caves at night. As a tourist, I had a great time. Tourism appears promising for Cambodians. You can see how well it's doing by the number of luxury hotels that are rising like mushrooms in the city of Siem Reap. Tourism is the second largest industry in Cambodia. But not all that glitters is gold. Because of corruption, the majority of people do not benefit from that money. 34% of Cambodians are forced to live with less than $1 per day, and nearly half of Cambodian children drop out of school only to become child laborers. I wanted to get involved with the community, so I became a volunteer at a local school. Here's Kamnat. I asked him to show us around.
We have 8 classrooms with about 300 students. AKD stands for Association for Knowledge Development. And this is the higher level from 1 to 3. And they are not students, they are volunteer teachers. Yeah, one from Canada and one from the USA.
Large animal.
There are 5 of us volunteering as teachers this week. When we're not in the classroom, we work on some side projects for the school.
Looks beautiful. I'm really excited. So, today we're making a garden. We want to grow it, maybe with the kids. It's really hard.
We've become good friends along the way and a kind of a family.
I found marbles just in the ground like that.
Why was going through school, even to get a minimal education, so difficult? The financial commitment of the Cambodian government in education is adversely low, with $1.50 per student per year for teaching materials and school operating costs. Elementary school teacher salaries range between $20 and $50 a month, putting them below poverty line. I spoke to Raymond about some of the country's biggest challenges in education.
There's a lot to say about Cambodia, but I find Cambodia as a country that's relatively small, locked between 2 giants, Thailand and Vietnam. Because of the turmoil that this country went through not that long ago, needs to run ever faster to catch up. One of the big problems is the quality of education here.
To receive a decent education, you need well-trained teachers. But up until 2005, many teachers in Cambodia had not completed secondary education themselves. Why? Because during the Khmer Rouge regime of the 1970s, the educated members of society, such as doctors, lawyers, and teachers, were brutally persecuted. To understand what happened, we need to go back 40 years in history. Inspired by the Chinese communist leader Mao Zedong, Pol Pot, the leader of the Communist Party Kampuchea, begins a guerrilla war and eventually takes over the country. They blow up everything. Their plan is to eradicate the fundamental structures of capitalism, like commerce, finance, and French colonialism. They empty the cities and send the entire population back to the fields to become classless peasants in forced labor. This extremist regime kills more than 2 million of their own with the objective of creating a new society. And recently, for the first time, historians have begun to refer to this tragedy as the Cambodian auto-genocide. Kamnat brought us to Banan Mountain so we could understand the extent of the massacres.
This is a killing cave. Around 1,000 of people die in the killing cave. The Khmer Rouge dropped the people from the top and fall and die inside here. My parents used to come here and they saw the bones inside the shirt, inside the clothes. A lot of bones, like small mountains.
I was devastated to learn that 1.7 million people died in only 4 years, mercilessly killed by their own government. But let's rewind further. The Khmer Empire was once a powerful Hindu-Buddhist kingdom in Southeast Asia. We can find some of the continent's most beautiful gems, such as the ancient city of Angkor. In the 9th century, the Indian prince Jayavarman II founded the Khmer Empire. Through wars and conquests, its borders extended far beyond the actual frontiers onto what is known today as Thailand, Laos, and Vietnam. But all great civilizations come to an end. In the 15th century, the city of Angkor was abandoned. Only a handful of monks took residence in the temple of Angkor Wat. As for the remainder, Mother Nature eventually covered it up in lush forest. In post-genocide modern Cambodia, a new generation is rising from its ashes. Kamnat is one of them.
I'm a lucky man because I was born in 1979. I was born around 20 days and then Vietnamese soldiers came to release Cambodia from Khmer Rule. The reasons that I became a monk because my family was very poor, and being a monk is good because monk, no properties, no girls, no alcohol. I studied English language, Chinese language, and Thai language. And I left from monkhood in 2005. We started AKD, and I got married.
Kamnat is a very interesting character. He's always here for us. He's always trying to make us feel happy and safe. He does that for the school as well, so he has a very good heart.
Needless to say, university tuition is a luxury that only 14% of the population can afford. This is why the school relies on volunteers.
Then you have to make a sentence with an athlete.
We want AKD to be better, to be independent, because AKD never have enough fund to pay for teacher salaries and other expenses.
Green, blue. What about this one? Blue. Yeah, pink. She's wearing a pink.
I volunteered because my knowledge of English is something that I can easily transmit to others. And I really like working with children. I can help them with their pronunciation, which is something that the teachers maybe can't do as much on their own.
Okay, you can be good English speaker or not if you don't learn to speak.
What I found interesting, especially with the evening classes, is that they've focused on teaching the children why they're learning English.
Education is something that you acquire in order to make a meaningful difference in your life.
And why I force you to learn? Because I want you to be the good people in the future. I want you to be a good professors. I want you to be to get high-paid job.
I would like to see someday the school have a better cadre of teachers, volunteers perhaps, and help design a curriculum that would bring the quality of education more in line with what's available worldwide.
In the future, we want to have a school building with a comfortable room, offer for scholarship to the poor children.
I realize how much we take for granted. Education is the most valuable part of a society. It's the only path to a brighter future. I was sad to leave Cambodia, but I'm thankful for what Kamnat and the other volunteers shared with me. I have grown as my experience at AKD helped to broaden my horizons and deepen my understanding of our common humanity.
AKD is very proud and we will teach English for a long time. Please come to join us. Thank you.
If you want to volunteer at AKD, just ask Kamnat. He'll be more than happy to hear from you. And if you want to make a donation to the school, visit their website. Every little bit can make a world of difference.